So, I'm going to be really quiet because it is 1:52 in the morning, and hear me. I'm with Hear me. Hey, Hear me. What you doing? Yeah. Okay, my grandparents are asleep, so I'm going to talk really quiet because I really don't think they can hear me, but just in case. So, back in December 15th, when'd you get the vet last, Hermie? When did you go to the vet last? I don't remember. Boop. But sometime mid to late December, Herm went to the vet for like the umpteenth time for a potty problem. And anyhow, so I had several trips to the vet back and forth, and he might be diabetic, but because he gets nervous on the way to the vet, his something levels are high anyway, so they can't really tell. So the vet suggested trying this glycobalance cat food, just to see how he did on it. It's for like diabetic cats and cats with some kind of like urinary crystals, which is what he had. Would you? Let's not sit on that. Thank you. So she's like, okay, well, we can't really tell if he has diabetes or not, so we're going to try this glycobalance cat food. And she said, okay, yeah, order this cat food, we'll call you when it comes in. This was like mid-December. It was before Christmas. And okay, so I'm like, okay, so I just left it and waited. Didn't think anything of it because it was around Christmas, didn't think anything of it. And then in January, well, you know what happened in January. Nobody got sick, so I didn't hear a word. And February, it's February 8th now, still no word. I went, whoops, you okay? Their website has this, like, portal type thing that pet owners can go into and contact them and keep up with their pets' records. And so I went on there and I sent them a message saying, hey, I haven't heard anything about Herman's cat food, you know, has it been ordered? How long does it take to come in? Like, how much will it be? Like, I need to know how much to bring in to pay for it. Things like that. That was over a week ago. No word. I mean, there was a number to call if it was an emergency. I didn't think cat food was an emergency. But I didn't think it would take over a week to get back for a simple question. So now I have just sent a message through frickin' Facebook about his cat food. Yeah. Because I found it in 2 different places. It's on Chewy.com for a lot cheaper than it is on Amazon. It's like $20-some on Chewy. And it's a little bit more in PetSmart. It's like, drove all the way to PetSmart in the next county over. Right there it is on the shelf. A little more than on Chewy, but I need a prescription to buy it. It's right there and I can't buy it for him. So I'm like, I know what I need. It's right there. But my vet is taking forever. We spent like hundreds on him back in December to help him, and I'm okay, so I don't know where they're ordering this food from or how long it takes to get here, but can you at least give me a fucking update? So yeah, oh, and this is an old shirt, but anyhow, my grandparents and I went to go see A Dog's Purpose. It's a good movie, so I mean, I'll end on that, but Dog's Purpose, good movie. My vet, not too much right now. Alrighty, so it's 11:40 a.m. on Wednesday, February 8th, and my kitty hears me talking. Hi, Hermie. Okay, so yeah, my grandparents are out again, and yeah, my hair is a wreck. I'm not going anywhere, so yeah, no makeup. I mean, I got lipstick on because I ran out of chapstick, but whatever, and can't really see it in this light, but it's this one. It's that, what is this? CoverGirl Lip Perfection in number 240 or 3157. I don't know, it's whatever that one is. There you go. So anyhow, you hear me? Think I'm talking to you? Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow, so I'm going to head over to my house in a bit and do some more cleaning. I'm not going to film that because my house is a mess and got some spots on my face. I got some this going on right now, because, yeah, yay. I thought acne would go away when I hit my 20s, but here I am in my 30s and I still get the occasional acne. Yay, hormones. But anyhow, so, what? What you want? Okay. So anyhow, y'all know I do genealogy, at least I think you do, I don't know. I post the most random whatever on here, I have no idea what y'all know, but anyhow. So, I do genealogy, and every once in a while I'll try to, find old yearbooks through usually classmates.com, sometimes ancestry.com, and a few on Flickr. And I'll try to go on... Why are you sitting in a pile of junk? Okay, random paper, but okay. Sorry, my cat is sitting on a pile of paper. This is going to be a very ADD clip for today, or video, I don't know, whichever. So I'll try to go on there and think, okay, I'll use the census records to figure out when my ancestors were in school and where they went to school, and see if I can find their yearbook photos. Then I remember, I come from farming people. Most of my ancestors didn't go past the 8th grade. So, yeah, fail. So, I mean, it's great that people can go on these websites like classmates.com, ancestry.com, Flickr, maybe some random Facebook pages. It just depends on where the yearbook has been scanned. I'm not sponsored by it, and I'm not trying to advertise for any of these particular websites. These are just the ones I use and the ones that I know are the most common. It's like, yeah, okay, so you can look at your grandpa's yearbook photo from like 1947 or 1962 or 1974, whatever. I don't know who watches these videos or what age you are when your folks went to school. But, yeah, my family, not so much. Like, I found my parents and a few aunts, uncles, and cousins who are around my parents' age, but anything past that, nope. Because, yeah. It's okay, like, if you're like me, and you come from, like, farming people who didn't feel the need to go past the 8th grade and learning, or, in my case, my great-grandmother, I don't know, she was born in, like, the 1890s, so this is, like, way on back. My great-grandmother did not go past the 3rd grade, because apparently all you needed back then was to read and write, and then you were done, and that would... add and subtract, read and write, and you were done. Out you went and, helped on the farm. Obviously, great-grandma is not going to be in the high school yearbook from wherever she went to school. So, she's out. And then I had, and, fix your collar here. And then, both sets of my grandparents married when they were like 14, 15. They didn't have kids until they were older, but they got married at like 14 and 15. So around 8th grade, and they were done. Like, they just quit school and did married housework type things and, like, jobs, whatever. That I don't know what you did back in the 1950s. So, obviously, my grandparents, who went around the 8th grade, aren't going to be in the yearbooks, because yearbooks are usually high school only, and that's usually... like, freshmen through, okay, I know most of you are going to know this, but I don't know who watches these videos, so in America, it's 9th grade is freshman, 10th sophomore, 11th junior, and 12th senior. So, they're not going to be in there, because they didn't go past that grade. Some older schools do have high schools, and, not high school, but like high school grades and younger grades combined, but usually from what I found, get out of my coffee. Sorry. But usually what I find is the high school grades will get the individual photos, and then the graded years, the elementary years, will just get a big group photo that may or may not include names. And then the older yearbooks, only the seniors will get the individual photos, and then the 9th, 10th, and 11th graders will just get a big group photo that, again, may or may not include names. It's just class, like, 8th grade class of 1934, and then just big group photo, and that's it. Thanks, that's very helpful. So, hopefully this video is making some sense. I know I'm kind of all over the place. And yeah, or again, if you're from a farming family like I am, I mean, my generation didn't, like, I'm not a farmer, my parents aren't farmers, my grandparents aren't farmers, but the great grandparent generation, a little more so. Like, if you're from a family that's like that, the schools they went to may be some podunk school that either didn't have yearbooks, or there is no hide nor hair of on classmates or ancestry or anything. I mean, there is not, like, my maternal grandparents and my grandparents, you'll figure out later, like, her parents, they went to these schools that, like, the towns that these schools were in are nowhere to be found on classmates.com. They are on some random Flickr website that's made by the county they're in. So, yeah, Flickr is a good website if you come from some random no-name school or ancestors do. That's good. Okay, so Flickr. I actually did find, like, okay. So I was always taught that my granny, my grand's mom, went to school until the 8th grade. And so, like, I'm not gonna have much of a chance of finding her. But I'm gonna look in this yearbook that I found anyway. That's the year, around the year she would have graduated if she'd graduated, just to see if I can find anybody else in there. Because my granny has, like, there's 7 brothers and sisters. Yeah, 7 brothers and sisters, so I figured maybe one of them graduated, or maybe I can find, like, a freshman yearbook photo or something. Well, I'm not going to say the school's name. I feel like my voice is, like, really like, I haven't been up long, so I feel like I've still got morning voice. But anyhow, in the 1940 yearbook, that I'm not going to name, because if I name it, then I'll tell where I'm from, and that's no, that's actually not where I'm from, but it's too close to, yeah, home to speak, so to speak. Yeah, we're just going to leave all my ramblies in here. So, went to the 1940 yearbook, actually found my granny and her older sister in there, I found their names. Because apparently in this 1940s yearbook, it wasn't individuals, like, what was it? They're both technically my aunts. When I say, if you're just coming across this, when I say granny, she's not my great-grandmother, and she's not my grandmother. My mom and her sister were raised by an older first cousin, so my gran, even though she raised me as her grandchild, is biologically my first cousin once removed, and my granny is my great aunt, or great aunt, or great aunt, great aunt, something like that. But they're not grandmother and great grandmother. I just call them that. Okay, so it's not like any it's not any rednecky thing like that. Yeah, I'm always afraid people are gonna get confused about that. But anyhow, so I found my great aunt and my granny in the yearbook. I think they're like senior and freshman photos, or junior and freshman photos, something like that. Anyhow, so like I said, like, it wasn't one of those each student gets their individual photo with their name beside it, or a list of names. No, it was just one big group photo on one page, and the next page was the class roster. And of course, none of the names matched up with the pictures. Have no idea which ones are my ancestors or relatives. My gran was able to maybe pick out my aunt, and the photo that had my granny's name in it, or attached to it, sort of, we could not find her at all, because my granny looks pretty much the same at 92 that she did in her, like, 20s, which is, I mean, wrinkles, of course, but the face shape is basically the same. Yeah. So, found her, yearbook, and her classmates, she is nowhere to be found. Because apparently, I tried counting the people in the photo versus the number of names, and there's like 10 people missing from the photo, which is incredibly helpful. So, found Granny's yearbook, found her name, she's not in it, awesome, it's great. Yeah, so, when looking for, like, yearbook photos, for me, it's either that, found their name, they're nowhere to be found, apparently they had help on the farm that day, or, like, with my mother's mother, like,
I never met my mom's mom, so I don't have I don't have anything I call her. I never called her grandma, granny, nana, nanny, me, mom, whatever. I don't have a whatever name for her. So I just call her my mom's mom. So my mom's mom got married in 1954 when she was in the 8th grade. Yeah, she was 14. Her husband was like in his 20s or something. Yeah, don't know what that was about, but whatever. Well, my mom's mom didn't have my mom until she was 20, and my mom is her firstborn that I know of. So I mean, it wasn't a like shotgun wedding or anything, and they just farming people just got married a lot earlier. So as far as I know, my mom's mom quit school in the 8th grade, which would have been around that time. So I found her in the 1954 yearbook where she would have been in like the 8th or 7th grade class. The years don't exactly and grades don't always exactly match up for some reason. I'm like, oh, whatever. So I found her yearbook, I found her class, found her name, and right beside my mom's name, not pictured. Great. Found the yearbook, found her classmates, again, nowhere to be found. Very helpful. So this is what I deal with. I'm like, yeah, or with my grandpa, my dad's dad. My parents divorced when I was around 6 or 7, and when you're a little kid, at least in my dad's side, they're not really nostalgic in the slightest, no hint of nostalgia at all. I grew up with around my grand, and I heard stories from when they were kids from the 1950s and 60s about family stories and things that happened. So I actually feel more connected with with my grandmother's childhood than I do my parents, because I didn't really hear about what they did because I wasn't raised by them. So anyhow, growing up, I had no idea, I know nothing about my father's side or my dad's childhood or any of that. So I never knew what schools they went to, or schools grandma, grandpa went to. No clue. But thankfully on Facebook, my grandpa posted that he went to this school in or near Miami. I can say that because Miami is humongous and there's several schools there, so that's not gonna tell you squat. And it's not really in Miami, it's sort of near Miami, yeah. So I found his yearbook, figured out when he would have graduated, went there, not there. Had no hair of him in the, hold on. So I looked in the year, he should have graduated all the way back to years he would have been in. And in the 1950s, my grandpa married in 1954, a different set of grandparents. They just both married in 1954 for, that's just a coincidence. 54, 53, somewhere in there. I looked at all the yearbooks that are on classmates.com. Grandpa is nowhere to be found. So, I have no idea. It's great. Mm-hmm. So this is what I usually deal with. It's I could go online, look at my ancestors, if they had, if they made it to high school, if they would scan some old elementary school yearbooks, or if they had actually shown up for picture day. But apparently, my family loves to avoid photos for some reason. It's awesome, yeah. And I really wish Classmates or some website it would put old, 1950s and earlier, or maybe 1960s, 70s, whatever, maybe, elementary yearbooks on there, because, what about people like me who want to see my ancestors, but my ancestor didn't go past the 8th grade, or in some cases, the 3rd grade, what good does that do me if I can't see that? And, yeah, I can think of reasons why you wouldn't put an elementary school yearbook online, at least more recent ones. But with the older ones, why not? I know someone's going to say pedophiles and whatnot, but high school students are still children too, so what's the difference? And yeah, you shouldn't make excuses for creeps. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I was kind of annoyed because Like, I want to go online. I want to know what my ancestors look like, because I don't have that many photos from, like, way on back. Like, I don't have any 1800s photos. I know most people don't. But it's just this a curiosity, you know. There's the potential to see what my great-great-grandparents look like. But no, there isn't if they didn't get past the 8th grade, and not ancestry or classmates won't put anything younger than high school photos in on their websites. I'm getting rambling. This video is really long, so I'm gonna go. Bye.
9 o'clock.
Where my dog is.
I'm gonna record this. Sorry.